are a few rules in life that you must abide by if you want to get through it unharmed. One of which is do not plagiarize the work of Scar from The Lion King. Golden rule number 1. The Words. So The Words stars Bradley Cooper, and he's a writer. He doesn't do it professionally. He wants to do it professionally, but he's just not good enough to do it professionally, you know? He's just like, oh, it's my hobby, and I want to make money at it because it's what I love, and I just can't do it. It's like one of those sad sacks you see on American Idol where you're like, no. Then he comes across this book in transcript form. It's obviously been shelved for years, and he's like, oh, it's great. I'll just pass it off as mine. Then it gets really big, and Jeremy Irons is like, hey, douche, that was mine. And you're like, awesome, this is a sweet premise, let's do it. And it started out as a really sweet premise. For 1/3 of this movie, I was like, this is cool. It's cool in that really slow drama kind of way cool. That's the kind of drama I can roll with, you know? It's an interesting premise. You can see it building. You're like, oh man, this is totally gonna fall apart for this poor bastard. Zoe Saldana's hot, you know, that's not bad. But enough with the hot chicks. This is all about the upper class status of writing. And hot chicks. But you feel for Bradley Cooper, you know? He's just struggling. He wants to make his hobby his career. He just wants to get paid. He wants to be one of the greats. And you're like, ah, man, I wish you could be. And then when he actually goes forward and he's like, he's passing this work off as his own, you kind of feel for him. I mean, I'd like to think in that situation I wouldn't do it, but you do see his situation. You're like, I don't think you're a dick for doing it. If it were my work, I'd think you're a piece of shit. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the guy. So when he has to sit down with Jeremy Irons, you're like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. Do it! And it's really cool for a few minutes, and then it gets boring. Jeremy Irons is telling his backstory, and you're thinking, okay, it's gonna take like 2 minutes to do. Only thing it doesn't, it takes like 30 minutes. It seemed like 30 minutes anyway. It's like 30 minutes of Jeremy Irons telling his backstory. You're getting all the visuals like it's a movie in scenes, but Jeremy Irons is doing the voiceover. It's like he's reading the book of his life. So you're like, shit, I feel like I'm in 4th grade story time, you know, where you're like, oh, I could listen to this or I could just sleep now. Not that a backstory is a bad thing, and even the format fit for the movie, but I mean, it doesn't have to be a half an hour long. Make it just a couple minutes. Make it a few minutes. Give me the highlights. I felt like I was on a bench with an old guy who was telling me his story, and I just wanted to be like, can you speed this up, please? In the movie, you already immediately feel for Jeremy Irons because his work was stolen. You don't need the whole backstory, you know, the highlights would be fine. You already have a conflict in your mind where you're like, I understand Bradley Cooper's dilemma, but yeah, Jeremy Irons is in the right. He should kick his ass. Why they felt they needed 30 minutes of backstory to tell me that I don't know. Now, Bradley Cooper, this guy, he's getting work, rightfully so. The dude's a good actor. I love him in comedies like The Hangover, but he shows that he can do the drama thing. Yeah, thing. I'm doing a movie about a book and literacy, and I said thing because I couldn't think of anything. Whatever. The people in this movie are great, but I thought there was going to be more conflict in this movie, you know? I mean, there's no real conflict. Jeremy Irons goes to Bradley Cooper and he's like, hey, you ripped off my work. All right, peace. I feel like with all the time they took to tell Jeremy Irons' backstory, they could have taken that time, allocated it to show more of the conflict between Bradley Cooper and Jeremy Irons, more of Bradley Cooper's inner conflict, because he knows he did something bad, you know, that would have made the movie a lot better. In the end, the first third of the movie was great, and then, you know, Jeremy Irons is telling his story, and you're like, all right, speed it up. Then the movie just kind of gets jumbled and ends. I've never loved the setup in 1/3 of a movie so much, and then had the rest of the movie just fall so flat for me. It pains me, and it's sad to say that The Words is alright, but you're not going to remember it in T-minus a couple days. Yep, already forgot. Alright, so who's your favorite author out there? We're going to jump track to books. Some of you are going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's this non-movie question? But that's what I'm curious about. Your favorite author. Who is he or she? Comment below. Let me know. I promote literacy here. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.